Alright, William Jump here. Welcome to my channel. So, yeah, many of you may have already noticed there is a interesting bug in our Godot project. So, let's get to it. So, by the way, you're watching a serious video of Godot development, and it's serious video. So, if you just new here, you can watch my previous video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Okay, so let's test this, and let me show you the bug. So run the project. So as you can see, okay, we got tons of gold ingots and it will fall down, but here comes the interesting part. It will fall down, continue to fall, even though it's just to get outside of the canvas. So that clearly is the bug, because, and there is also another bug, is that when I try to move, our okay, I believe I need to get my if I try to move outside, I can do that. Okay, so if you look here, I can still move outside. Clearly we don't want that, so that's the reason I'm going to show you how to get the viewport. Okay, get the edges of the viewport, and so it's really critical, especially if you want to say something like, so for example, the gold ingot, you don't want it to like fall like indefinitely all to the bottom. You don't want to do that, because even though you can't see it, if it's not deleted, the process, remember to process every frame, you have to, delta, time elapsed, you have to constantly checking that. Okay, so you continue to do that even though you can't see it. So it's like a little bit philosophical question. So if this world, okay, it's just a little bit irrelevant, but if this world is a video game, it's everything simulated. So it's more like when you actually see it, you actually observe it, it's got a setting state, and the thing got rendered, the thing got generated, because you want, if this world is unreal, you kind of want to save the calculation time. So the same goes for game development. If you can't see it, just delete it. Okay, so if the gold ingots fall outside, you just delete it. So let me show you how. So we already got this player. So if you go back to our game, we got the player and we got this gold ingot. So let's add some logic to the code, to the gold. So process delta just to y all the way down, and I forgot to show you the screen here. So sorry. Right now we got this game and we got all this gold ingot, and player we already add this process. We will deal with that later, but right now let's dealing with a little bit about the gold. So first, of course, you can have a export. We already covered that in the player section. Okay, so previously we share the knowledge of how to export things out. So you got some more things that you can adjust outside of here. So instead of player speed, I'm going to say this will be the gold speed. Okay, gold ingot speed. Okay, gold speed. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gold speed. Let's 100. That's good. So 100, and then I can replace this to here. So not only you use variable to represent the speed, but also you export it here, so you can later change it. Okay, 200, something like that. So it will fall pretty quickly, like quickly than before. Okay, so fall pretty quickly. So for example, you can get like a I don't know, 1000, something like that. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Let's pause everything. But I want it to disappear. Right now, did not like solve the disappearing problem. That's because the speed changed, but will continue to move down. Okay, but if you go back to our game, you can sort of see 2D. You can see we got this. I don't know whether you guys can actually see this like line here. Okay, this is the viewport. Okay, and normally the viewport is like kind of a rectangle. So we use the get viewport rect to get the size of the viewport, and the gold. Okay, search the gold and script. We can access. We can sort of access this. So let me show you. So function process delta, and then this like constantly moving, constantly updating But if the position of the Y position, right now we got a Y position. Y position is bigger than the viewport Y. So it's like going outside of the viewport, wanting to delete it. Okay? It's bigger. It's bigger than we can use this get viewport rect. So that means rectangle. Okay? And we can get hold of the size. And then we got size, we get X size, we also got Y size. So we can get the Y size here. So if it's bigger than the Y size, it's falling down below this viewport. Then what I'm going to do is to set the whole process. Right now it's like a process. Okay? I'm going to set the whole process to false. So what do I mean by that? Set the whole process to false. That means this process will call every frame. So it's constantly like take the calculation like resources in order to constantly say, hey, I need to update position, okay? But if it's already outside, the viewport means that you can see that. If outside you can't see it, then the process is no longer needed. Because even though there are tons of calculation, you might ask computer to do that, but it doesn't show on the viewport. So what I'm going to do is to get the process, okay, you got a process here, I'm going to set process to false. So there will no longer be any process here. And then what I'm going to do is to, just delete this. Deletion got a pretty weird name. It's called Q3. That means, I believe you can check the documentation here. But let me quickly explain this to you, so save you guys a little bit of time to chat with AI or something like that. So that means you delete it. So let me show you. So if I comment out, okay, let me do that step by step. If you comment out, this will just pause the process. Let me show you. So let's run this. Okay, quickly. Okay, still did not. Yeah, did not go to. Yeah, I believe I maybe made a mistake. Okay, so let's check it. Okay, after quick review, I forgot to yeah, it's my mistake. So it's working, but I'm changing the size of the window. Sorry about that. So if you do not change the size of the window, yeah, so it's something like this. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so the window size is not the canvas size. This canvas is a little bit bigger, and the window size is something like this. Okay, so if you rerun it again, you can see that the process is stopped. Every frame is updating and continues to change the Y position, but when it reach the window, the process just stopped. But if you make this window pretty big, it will stop at yeah. Later I'm going to show you how to stop changing of the window size right now. Let me tell you. Okay, so if you got something like this, okay, a bigger window size, you get something like here. So it will stop here. But if you do not change the window size, the viewport size, sorry, normally the viewport and window should be the same, and as you are changing this, constantly populate the whole window. So yeah, yeah, I hope that clarifies things. So basically, if you you change it, so the viewport and the window change, and viewport will change. Okay, there will be a new viewport, and they will fall all the way down here and then stop. But this does not disappear. So if you got this Q3, you can get something like this. So it will disappear. You can rectify that by make a bigger window to see actually it's not continue to fall down. Okay, so yeah. So as for a quick task for you, remember we got this here. Okay, so the control still pretty weird, right? We can still go outside of here. Okay, so if I go back, you still can go outside we don't want that. I want it to like stop approximately here and stop approximately here. So in order to test you guys, you can pause this video and do it yourself. How can you restrict the position of the player using the same method like this? And then, give some restriction. Okay? Let's pause it. Okay, did you do that? Okay, so if you don't know what to do, please watch my next video. We're going to add some restriction to the player so the player won't get outside the screen. Okay? Don't forget to give me a thumb up, subscribe to my channel. I tend to make my video size like a bite size, so it's approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? Thanks, bye.